What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Guys, do yourself a big favor and do me a favor. Get yourself down in the description box. I got some links down in the description box that you may want to go check out. The first one is the Moo link. And the good folks at Moo, they are willing to give you up to $1,000 in NVIDIA stock if you decide to open up a new Moo brokerage account. And of course, you got to meet some deposit requirements in order to qualify for that. But if you're looking for a self-directed brokerage app and you want to try out Moo, give them a shot, guys. Like I said, it's that first link down in the description box, the Moo link. And who knows, man, if you decide to sign up and make your deposit, you can get up to $1,000 in NVIDIA stock. Most valuable company in the world by market cap. Second one is the Wealth Builders Financial Community on Patreon. That's my community where like-minded people who are trying to build long-term wealth and get to passive income. And that's what we do in that community. We come together and we share best practices. We share golden nuggets, tips, what's working, what's not working. None of us are experts. We do not try to be experts, but when you have a community of people, a couple thousand people banding together, sharing ideas on long-term wealth building strategies so that we can get to financial freedom, so that we can control 100% of our time, we control our own financial destiny, we ain't gotta work for the rest of our lives. So if you want to be a part of that, get yourself out of the matrix and come join us, be a part of our team, click on that second link, which is the Patreon link. It'll take you over to Patreon. Check us out, sign up, and then send me a DM to let me know you're there so that we can go to work. Third one is going to be the Richard Fame Millionaire Mentor website. That's where I got some digital products, right? Some financial digital products. Go check them out, guys. And again, I'm not, you're not required to do anything, guys. But if you're trying to figure out a way to get information and get to your financial freedom and get to your passive income, then guess what? Attitude and effort is important. You got to have the right attitude and you got to have the right effort, right? Nothing's going to fall out of the sky and hit you on top of the head and all of a sudden you're financially free. No, you're going to do some work. You're going to have to make an investment in you or you ain't going to get the financial freedom. It's that simple. If you're not willing to make an investment in you, then guess what? Nobody else is going to make an investment in you. The number one thing to get you to where you need to be in this life is you got to be willing to make an investment in you. You ain't got to make no investment in me. I'm good. But you got to make an investment in you if you plan on getting somewhere. So check out that website that has those 10 digital products. Check them out. See if anything makes sense for you. It's just information, guys. If you don't need it, don't go to the website. You feel me? So I'm not stressing anybody here. I'm just offering something that could help you get to where you want to go with your financial life. If you don't want to take a look at it, that's okay. But for those of you that do, I appreciate it. Now let's talk about this urgent warning for all Americans with debt and no assets. It's a huge problem, guys. I was reading something this morning. It said the top 10% of wage earners, people with higher incomes and people with assets, they purchase 50% of the goods and services in our country. And then the bottom, middle, and lower income folks purchase the other 50. So a lot of people are asking, well, goodness gracious, man, I'm in this bust economy and I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I can barely keep my head above water. Why is the stock market doing as well as it's doing? Well, number one, in my opinion now, guys, this is all my personal opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm not trying to give you financial advice. I'm giving you my personal opinion. But in my personal opinion, the reason the stock market has done as well as it's done is because of that top 10% of wage earners and people with wealth. They're investors. And guess who sells these products and services? Companies. So when you got 10% of the population that controls pretty much 90% of the wealth, buying stuff over and over and over. Why? Because they got high incomes and they got assets. These top 10% guys are buying 50% of the products and services for these companies in the stock market. That's why the stock market is doing well. And then when they sprinkle in middle income and lower income folks that purchase the other 50%, that's the reason why companies got record profits. That's why. See, I keep telling y'all, you got these two economies. You got a boom economy and you got a bust economy. This boom economy is what's driving the stock market, in my personal opinion. They control most of the wealth. They have the highest incomes. So then you start thinking about, well, goodness gracious, what about this debt situation we have in America? Guess who's straddled with most of that debt? Middle income, lower income folks are straddled with most of that debt. Let me run you through the debt numbers. The consumer debt. The consumer debt in this country is approaching $19 trillion, with about 13 trillion of that mortgage debt. The other 6 trillion is, all of it's considered kind of consumer debt, but the real consumer debt is about 6 trillion. And most of that consumer debt belongs to middle income and lower income individuals. Can you imagine having $6 trillion in debt? Let's say 4 trillion of it belongs to the middle and the lower income folks, 4 trillion. Can you imagine having $4 trillion in consumer debt and you have no assets? And you only have one primary source of income. And you're living paycheck to paycheck. So let's break down this 19 trillion. Like I told you, about 13 of it is mortgage debt. The other 6 is consumer debt, which consists of what? Credit card debt, 1.3 trillion. Auto loan debt, almost 2 trillion. Student loan debt, 1.6 trillion. And then all your other miscellaneous personal debt and all this other stuff that people do. You know, buy now, pay later debt, all that stuff. That makes up the 6 trillion. The problem is for middle and lower income folks, they don't have any assets. They just have their income. And most times it's a single income. So now I'm driving down the road and I hit a bump and all of a sudden I break one of my axles on my front axle for where my wheels are at. Oh my goodness, I done got in a little bit of fender bender with a pothole. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be $1,000 to fix it. Guess what another statistic is? 56 to 60% of Americans don't even have $1,000 in their savings account to be able to fix that front axle on the car. Don't even have $1,000 in savings. 56 to 60% of Americans. See where I'm going with this? So we got all of this debt. We got no assets to think of. Why? For various reasons. Bad behavior with money. Thinking that we're purchasing assets when we're really purchasing liabilities. That's a big one. See, a lot of us, we think we're purchasing assets when in actuality we're purchasing liabilities. See, assets actually create income for you. So whatever you out there purchasing, guys, if it's not generating any income for you, guess what? It's a liability. It's a part of that $6 trillion worth of consumer debt when you break out the mortgage debt. Some of y'all who have went out, middle income, lower income folks, bought too much house. Just bought too much house. So now you're house rich, cash poor, asset poor. Oh my goodness, an asset, Richard, what are you talking about? My house is an asset. Well, I'm gonna ask you this question. If it's an asset, does it generate income for you? See, it's pretty easy, guys, to figure out what's an asset. Ask yourself, does it generate income? If it don't generate sufficient income above and beyond what it costs you, let's say you got a loan. But let's go back to your house. Boom, you go out and buy a house. Beautiful house, you love it. But it don't generate any income. So it's a dead asset. Every month, you're taking money out of your pocket and paying the mortgage payment. Once a year, you take money out of your pocket and you pay your insurance, your homeowner's insurance or your flood insurance. Once a year, you take money out of your pocket and you do what? You pay your property taxes. Couple times a year, you got to take money out of your pocket and do what? Repair and maintenance. Refrigerator goes out. Microwave goes out. Plumbing issue. Electrical issue. New AC. Roof. You feel me? Just the other day, guys, I had to have a crew come out here on a 3-year-old house. I had to have a crew come out here to my patio deck and do what? Do some repair to my pool pavers. Cost me $600. They were here an hour. They were here 1 hour and it cost me $600. See what I'm saying? So I can call this thing that I live in an asset all I want to, so that I can feel better about myself. But really, it's not an asset, it's a liability, because I got to pay for stuff like that happens to these houses. So even at 13 trillion that we're calling an asset because it's home ownership, for most of us, that includes the top 10% as well, for most of us who own property, we don't own it free and clear. There's a mortgage on it, and we don't derive any income from it. So it's a liability. And I already walk you through the credit card debt and all the rest of the stuff we buy. But yet and still, 150 million Americans don't have retirement savings. 150 million, guys. We only have 350 million people in this country. See, this is an emergency, guys. Even for me. Like I told you, I had the $600 repair that I had to do on my lanai. $600. The guys were here an hour. Just got done selling one of my cars back to Ferrari here in the area that I live in. Just sold one of the Ferraris. They just picked it up. Boom, gone. Even me, I'm starting to batten down the hatches, guys. I'm starting to eliminate things that are really not assets. See, that Ferrari that I had, that was for personal enjoyment. I never looked at it as an asset. It's not an asset. Because it wasn't generating any income for me. Now, don't get me wrong. When I sold it, of course, I recouped a good portion of my money that I paid for it. So I can take that money now, which is an asset, because why? I'm getting ready to invest it. I'm getting ready to buy the dip. See, I went ahead and sold the Ferrari, got me some cash so I could double down on the dip, because right now we're in dip season. Again, not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy the dip. I'm just telling you what I'm getting ready to do. This is my personal plan for myself. This is not directed for nobody else to go sell nothing and buy nothing. Because I know how funny we get on here on this YouTube thing. We get a little funny. So let me make that disclaimer. I'm not telling anybody to sell anything and go invest it. I'm telling you what I'm doing. See, for me, I know what these things are. They're just liabilities. They don't produce any income. So I got rid of one of those things that don't produce income. It produced personal enjoyment, but personal enjoyment ain't gonna pay the bills. Personal enjoyment is not gonna help me when it's time to pay for something around here. Personal enjoyment ain't gonna help me. So guess what? Gotta go, and I sold it. And I'm glad I did. Got a nice check coming back. Boom. Put it in the account. Boom. Ready to go ahead and do some real work. And I'm gonna get ready to sell the rest of the stuff that I got in order. Why? Because I'm gotten to the point in my life where I'm saying to myself, listen, man, let's refocus here. Let's refocus. You're 57 years old. Yes, you're doing well, but you could be doing better. So now I'm on this mission of debt elimination. Early on in my life, I was on debt accumulation as long as it was producing income for me. I was on this journey of debt accumulation, but through real estate. Bunch of debt. Never owned a piece of real estate free and clear, and I never wanted to. The whole purpose was to use 5-to-1 leverage to leverage the bank to give me the money to buy the real estate that produces income. And that income repays the bank, it pays the expenses on the property, and it puts a little cash flow in my pocket. But here's the winner chicken dinner right here. It appreciates in value over time if I buy it in a location that people have a desire to live. That's good debt. All this bad debt people are buying right now, it's not good, guys. Even me, guys, I'm getting rid of this bad debt, man. And I'm consolidating my money and putting it in something that's going to actually generate some income for me or appreciate in value over time. At least that's the game plan. There's no guarantees, but I'd rather have my money in an asset that actually has the ability to create income than to have it in a liability that I know will never create income unless I put it on Turo or, unless I want to, rent it out on the weekends. I don't think that's a smart idea. Not for a guy like me, it's not. So my point here is to sound the alarm. My job here is to sound the alarm for anybody that's out there who is trying to decide, is things more important to me or freedom more important to me? You better decide, and you better decide today, guys, because time is running out. These 1%ers are continuing to widen the wealth gap. And listen, bro, top 10% of people in this country, guys, they're in a golden age. So when you hear somebody come on TV or somebody in the administration or some other politician or some other billionaire, and you hear them say, oh, we're in a Goldilocks economy. We're in a golden age. They're not talking about you. They're talking about them people up here who got multiple streams of income, these people who are investing, these people who control all the wealth in this country. That's who they're talking about. They're not talking about 90% of the people down here in the middle class and the lower income bracket. They're not talking about y'all. They're talking about them. So guess what I said? You know something? Hey, man, let me listen to what these people talking about here, man. Let me get this money out of these depreciating assets, and over time I will. By January 2025, I've already told y'all this house will be up for sale. The other Ferrari that I have will be gone. I'm gonna liquidate that, turn it to cash, put it back in the piggy bank. I'm gonna downsize from this house. Not that because I can't afford it. I can afford it. But at this point in my life, what's the point? What's the point? At this point in my life, I need to be debt-free. At this point in my life, guys, I want to be debt-free now. I changed my mind. I pivoted. I changed gears. I was listening to a cat on YouTube, and the cat made a bunch of sense to me. The cat was like, listen, man, I'm trying to get debt-free. I'm trying to get debt-free. So if I'm going to go buy a toy, I need to own it debt-free. I don't need to have no loans on it. I don't want to have no loans. That's my goal. My goal is to get rid of anything that got a loan on it by January 2026, gone. Selling it, liquidating it, going all to cash. Selling this house, going back to the smaller house that I have that I was in when I first started this channel. I still own that home. That's what I'm going back to. I'm going to sell this thing. Now, I don't know if I'll sell it for what I paid for it, and it doesn't even matter. Don't even matter. What matters is I'm debt-free. I got the ability to earn. As long as the good man upstairs, God Almighty, gives me the ability to earn, I'm going to earn till I leave this place. And I don't have a problem with earning, because I'm one of these guys. I get up in the morning and I look forward to earning. I look forward to finding new ways to leverage my time in order to earn more. See, really, here's where I want to get to, guys. I want to get to my number one asset is my ability to earn. I want to do that for the next 9 years. My ability, right, to earn is my number one asset to build wealth. I no longer want real estate as my number one asset to build wealth. I no longer want the stock market as my number one asset to build wealth. I no longer want those things to be my number one way to build wealth. I want my number one way to build wealth right now is to maximize my earning potential over the next 9 years. And the way I do that is I got to get lean and mean. I got to be debt free. Because every dollar I'm paying to Ferrari, every dollar I'm paying to some mortgage company on this house, every dollar I'm paying for whatever I pay for, that ain't putting no money in my pocket, is reducing my ability to build wealth. Your number one tool to build wealth right now, in my opinion, guys, my personal opinion, is your ability to earn. Why do you think 150 million Americans have no retirement savings? In my opinion, it's come down to two things: financial literacy and their ability to earn. Financial literacy, couple that with an ability to earn, you're unstoppable. You would be unstoppable. Well, Richard, I only make minimum wage. What should I do? Develop a skill set that will pay you more than minimum wage. I've told you guys for years on this YouTube channel, the market will pay you based on what you are worth to the market. You can't have a $30,000 skill set and think somebody gonna pay you $100,000. That's not how the market works. This is a free market in this country. It don't work that way. If you want somebody to pay you $100,000 a year, your skill set, the value you bring to the marketplace has to match what you want to get paid. That's the way it works, guys. Right? I can't show up one day and say, hey, I want to make what that guy makes. And then when they sit down and run me through all the questions and say, well, Richard, give me your experience. Well, why do you think you should get what that guy makes? Well, I'm a nice guy. That's why I should get it. No, we're not going to give it to you for that. For nice guys, you start down there in the mailroom. Learn some things. Bring value to our company. Increase our bottom line, and we can increase your bottom line. That's the way the system works, guys. So the more value Richard Fain brings to the marketplace, the better ability I have to increase my earnings. So if you want to make six figures, bring 6 figures worth of value to the marketplace and you'll get paid 6 figures. But if you bring 5 figures to the marketplace, they're not going to pay you 6 figures, guys. See, this thing I do, this online thing, if I want to make more money, guess what I got to do? I got to bring more value to the marketplace. I got to bring more value to the people that watch me. I got to bring more value to all these different things that I try to do to create what? Income. I got to bring more value. Question is, am I willing to bring more value? That's a personal decision. There's nothing in this country stopping any one of us for bringing more value. Now, we can say what we want about this country. It's not perfect. But the last time I looked, the last time I woke up, there was nobody telling me, okay, Richard, you can't do more. There's nobody telling me that. Last time I checked, nobody gave me no phone call, nobody texted me, nobody emailed me and said, okay, Richard, you only can do a little bit today. You can't do a lot. You need only a little bit. No, man. Ain't nobody in this country telling us that we can do as much as we want to do and make as much as we want to make, but we got to make the decision. But oftentimes we want to do a little bit and we want to get a lot for it. We want to do a little bit of something, but we want a bunch of something, something. Oh, okay. I only want to work 10 hours a week, but shoot, man, I want to get paid 6 figures. No. In most cases, that ain't gonna work that way unless you bring an unusual skill set. Well, you only have to work 5 or 10 hours a week to make 6 figures. Many of us don't possess that skill set yet. Can we possess it? Absolutely. You absolutely can. I was working in banking, guys, in probably my last 5 years of banking. I was averaging at least 50 hours a week. Don't get me wrong now. I was getting paid and compensated. I was working about 50 hours a week. Then I decided to start my own business, and I said to myself, I only want to work about 10 hours a week, though. But I want to do what I want to do in those 10 hours, and I want to maximize my income. You know the funny thing happened is, in year 1, I made more money in year 1 than I made my last year of banking with 25 years experience. And I was working 5 to 10 hours a week. Year 2, it kept going up. Year 3 kept going up. Year 4 kept going up. All I'm telling you guys is this whole notion of you got to work harder. In some instances, yeah, in the beginning you do. But that doesn't mean forever you got to work harder, just work smarter. So I traded in 50 hours a week, making a decent living, 6-figure income, 50 hours a week. I traded that in for 5 to 10 hours a week, and I made 3, 4, 5 times that amount that I was making over here. Why? Because I just changed the way I did things. Number 1, I invested in me. And then I brought more value to the marketplace. So guess what? When you bring more value to the marketplace, you make more. So if you're struggling right now, guys, if you're someone that's out there that's struggling with income, you're struggling to earn more, look at your skill set you currently have. Just have an honest conversation with yourself. Have an honest conversation with yourself about your skill set. And really pin down what value you're adding to someone's company, what value you're adding to your own company. If you want to make more, what do? We got to add more value to the marketplace, guys. That's how you make more. Now, you can add more value working for somebody, or you can add more value by having your own business, or build you some wealth, create some assets that generate the income, and now you kick back in a passive situation and ain't got to never do nothing. But that takes time. That doesn't happen overnight. That takes time. You got to be patient. You got to be consistent. And you got to be disciplined. So we got a bunch of debt in this country. The national debt is about $38 trillion and climbing. That's the national debt for America. We spend more than we make. That's why we got $38 trillion in debt, guys. So therefore, the American people are no different than the government. See, the government lives on more than what they make. That's our U.S. government. That's why we got $38 trillion in national debt and can't pay it off. We'll never pay it off. It's going to continue to escalate. Before you know it, we'll be at 50 trillion. And in 25 years, maybe it'll be 100 trillion. We'll never pay it off. See, the government is designed to operate that way. It's designed to operate that way. But see, here's the thing that the government has that you and I don't have. The government got this little thing they call the Federal Reserve, AKA the money printer. They just print more money. They just issue more treasury bonds and pay the interest on the treasury bonds. You and I don't have a Federal Reserve. We don't have a money printer. So when we live on more than what we make, we just live paycheck to paycheck and live on credit cards and just struggle for our whole life. Because we don't have a money printer like the U.S. government does. They got a money printer that can step in, Federal Reserve can step in, sprinkle some fairy dust, poof, perfect. Right? They can do that. You and I don't have that. We don't have no magical fairy dust we can sprinkle on our debt or sprinkle on our income. We don't have that, guys. So what do we have to do? We got to be smarter. We can't operate like the federal government operates when it comes to our fiscal ability, when it comes to our money management. We got to be better. So instead of us living on more than what we make, we should be considering living on less than what we make. We should be considering, in my personal opinion, we should consider multiple streams of income. What do you mean? I already work 50 hours a week, Richard. And work an extra 10 on the weekends driving Uber, DoorDash, Lyft. All you need is some form of transportation. Throw in another 10 hours for the next 6 months, the next 12 months. And every penny you make, go to paying off debt, getting yourself out of this debt spiral. Every dime you make from that secondary income or that third income, send it to pay off that debt. Get yourself out of consumer debt, and man, it will open up the financial world to you. The reason most of us cannot invest appropriately to build wealth is because all of our money that we have goes to building someone else's wealth through debt. Credit card companies, my goodness, these people are just making it. Go look at Visa and MasterCard's Q3 numbers. Go look at their numbers. Go look at their numbers and what type of revenue that these companies are making. Go look, guys. Go look at these banks. We just got through with Q3s for the banks, all the big boy banks. Killed it. Killed it. Why are they killing it? Because they lend money to people. They collect a big juicy interest rate from us. And guess who money they use to lend out to collect the big juicy interest rate? Our deposits. Tell me that ain't a good setup. You tell me that ain't a good setup. That's a perfect setup. You come into my bank, I put my money in your bank, you take my money and lend it to the guy over here. And then the guy over here pays you 7%, you pay me nothing. You pay me 0.25%, 0.50, if I'm lucky, 1%. But you're charging him 7%, 8%, 9%, 10%. This is how the country's set up, guys. The people with the money, the people with the assets get first dibs. See, these people use us, the rest of us, 90% down here in the bust economy, they use us to build more wealth. I was listening to something, matter of fact, I was reading this online. You know, Home Depot came out with their financials. I believe it's their Q3 financials. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And guess what the CEO said? We expected more revenue to come in from storm-related income. See, Home Depot was betting on chaos in our hurricane season. But the hurricane season missed us this year, for the most part. Those people in Jamaica got hit with a big one. But America proper, United States proper, didn't really get anything major that threatened us this year. So Home Depot, they missed out. The guy actually came out and said that. We thought we'd get more revenue from storm-related stuff. Basically talking about hurricanes. Hurricanes don't come, boom. Guess what else hurting them? That bottom 90%, not doing any home improvements. Not buying a bunch of crap. Not buying a bunch of crap. So guess what? No good hurricane season to get you some easy revenue, because you know when hurricane season, when it's strong now, it's chaos. There's a lot of money to be made for the Home Depots, the Lowe's, contractors, and all that people. When you have a devastating hurricane season like we did in 23, like we did in 24, we didn't have that in 25. So revenue got cut short for Home Depot. Plus, you ain't got these people down here that are in this bust economy that are struggling, living check to check. These people ain't doing the home improvements. Nobody's buying this. And then guess what? Since these people are struggling, maybe some of your mom and pop contractors are struggling. Those are a lot of Home Depot's customers too. These mom and pop trades. Not your big juggernauts. I'm just talking about your homegrown, pretty good business, pretty good trade, your electricians, your AC guys, your home builders, your repair guys. All of these people that go to Home Depot, guys, are not big, gigantic conglomerates. It's mostly just mom and pop businesses. But if mom and pop businesses don't got enough work, or if Home Depot had to jack up the prices a little bit to absorb the tariffs, which I'm pretty sure they did, it's no wonder Home Depot is hurting. They didn't have the quarter that they thought they would have. I would say Lowe's is probably right with them. And all that stems back to this 90% of people down here in this bust economy who are saddled with all this debt and no assets are struggling. And if you're one of those people, I just gave you a little bit of what I'm doing to try to get myself lean and mean. I'm selling this stuff. And I ain't gonna miss it. I'm selling it and I ain't gonna miss it. I'm downgrading and getting debt-free, guys. I don't want no loans on nothing. So by January, end of January 2026, I've set a deadline for myself. By that time, all the cars got to be gone. The higher end cars, the Ferraris, they're going to be gone. I got one left that I'm holding on to for a little bit, but it'll be going to, by the end of January 2026, it'll be gone. I'm one of these guys that, I like, going out in the garage and seeing them and getting a little excitement, use them for the YouTube channel every now and then. That got to go. So I let one go, kind of take the Band-Aid off a little bit, and then I'm going to get rid of that other one and just rip the Band-Aid off. And then the two big boy cars will be gone. Be gone. And then Dream Home. That's next. I've enjoyed it. It'll be 3 years next year. And my goal, guys, always was to sell this house in 3 years. My goal was always to sell it in 3 years. I'm just going to stick to that plan. I'm going to downsize out of the dream home because I just wanted to check it off the bucket list. It was fun to live in. I had a lot of good time. I made a lot of videos. So it served its purpose. But now it's time to downsize and get rid of that big mortgage payment, go back to something that I'm going to own free and clear, and I'm good to go and keep earning. My number one tool to build wealth, guys, over the next 9 years for a guy like me is my ability to earn income and keep it. Not just to build it. Not just to make it, but I got to keep it. And see, keep it means I can't be making mortgage payments. I can't be making Ferrari payments. Keep it means I don't have no debt. That's how I keep it. I want to earn it, I want to keep it, and then I want to put it in something that'll multiply it. I want to maximize that over the next 9 years. And I think that's the game plan for most of us we should be thinking about. Now, you go and do whatever you want to do. Keep living the lifestyle you're living. You'll keep getting the results you get. See, I keep telling y'all guys, activities. See, you can't lie your way through this. Whatever your activities are today are giving you the results you're getting today. Any part of your life. It ain't just your finances now. Go look at your relationships. And if they raggedy, look at your activities in that relationship. It'll give you a nice little awakening. Because see, a lot of us, we want to blame others for everything. We don't never want to blame ourselves. If you're in a bad relationship, and I know some people are in things that they have to be in, that they don't want to be in, but for the majority of us, I'm not talking about like extreme relationships where people are taking advantage, not that. I'm just talking about normal relationships, no matter what it is. Look at what you are contributing to that relationship. Look at the activities in that relationship. If it's your health. Now, I know some of us do the right things. We try to eat right. We try to limit alcohol. We try to exercise. But then we get hit with something on the health side that it's just what it is. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about us that sit around, don't exercise, eat whatever we want when we know it ain't good for us. Just look at your activities. And then look at your results. Normally, in any walk of life, normal circumstances, if you look at your activities, it will give you a really, really good come to Jesus on your results. So when I look at my finances and I say, well, golly, Richard, I want to be further ahead. I want to be further along. I still want to get this island in the Caribbean. How do I get there? How am I going to make it happen? Oh, Richard, I know a way you can make it happen. Sell those Ferraris. Take that cash and start putting it to work instead of putting it in depreciating assets that won't get you to that island in the Bahamas or in the Caribbean. See, I got to look at myself and have that tough conversation. I can't sit around, oh my God, what am I going to do? What people going to think? I don't care what people think. What I care about is I get to my financial freedom goal in 9 years. And having them Ferraris are not going to help me get there. Having this house is not going to help me get there. It's not. What's going to help me get there is to be lean and mean, no debt, maximize my income, keep every penny I can keep, and multiply it. That's how I get there. What's your plan? How you going to get where you need to be? Walk me through your plan. Because y'all know I ain't no expert. I'm just a guy on YouTube giving you his opinion. But walk me through your plan. What is your plan to get your debt paid off? What is your plan to maximize your income? What is your plan to get to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, AKA financial freedom, AKA passive income? What is your game plan? You ain't got to worry about my game plan. You worry about yours. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the 1% don't care nothing about you. They're going to use you and abuse you and throw you to the side. You're going to walk in one day to that job, then people are going to tell you they don't need you no more. What are you going to do if you ain't got no assets? You ain't got no net worth. You sat with a bunch of consumer debt up to your eyeballs. Mortgage, credit card debt, car loan debt, student loan debt, personal loan debt, buy here, pay later debt. What are you going to do? See, I said to myself, listen, man, somebody takes something from your income source, one of your main income, so they take it from you. What are you going to do? I was like, well, I got assets. I got a certain amount of money in my 401ks. I got, regular brokerage accounts. I got Roth IRAs with money in it. I'm finna sell all these Ferraris. That's going to bring in a nice little chunk. I got one coming in here real soon. Big chunk. Sold one of them. Big chunk coming in. And then when I sell that second one, another big chunk coming in. And then the G-Wagon going to be after that. Poof. Gone. Get back to just basic stuff, man. Get back to basic living. Because I'm trying to maximize that income with no debt. None. I want to do that for the next 9 years. The goal is the next 9 years be debt-free and just earn. Put my nose to the grind, help as many people as I can help, because I know the more people I help, I get what I want. For sure, for sure. See, I've learned the secret to life, guys. The secret to life for Richard Fain is help people. The more you help, the more you get what you want. That's the secret for me for income. See, I don't worry about the income. My goal is how many more people can I help? Because I know if I can help more people, more eyeballs on me, more community around me, the money part take care of itself. See, I know how to do the money part. But I want to get debt free. I'm tired of giving somebody something over here for a depreciating asset so that I can feel good about myself. No, I'm going to feel good about myself when I get to the Caribbean on that nice little island with that beachfront property, put my toes in that white sand every morning, looking up at them blue skies, looking at that blue water, having me a cup of coffee, and just relaxing for the rest of my life and just enjoying it. Not a worry in the world. My kids and my family come visit. I get to do all the nice little things I want to do. That's where I'm at, guys. Where you at? Where you at? What you want? Are you willing to pay the financial price to get it? Are you going to go ahead and continue to be controlled by this debt? You're going to continue to be controlled by the 1%. the propaganda? Are you going to allow fear and pride and greed steal away your financial future? Or will you act today? Will you go sit down and have a serious conversation with yourself today? Because the problem ain't others. The problem is you. The problem is me. See, I had to have that real conversation with myself. Richard, who's the problem in this thing? Who's the problem? And honestly, I was the problem. There wasn't nobody stopping me from doing nothing in this country. I'm the problem. Now, don't get me wrong. We got a lot of problems now. A lot of problems in this country. A lot of things ain't fair. A lot of things ain't right. But I still believe it's the greatest country in the world. If you're a person that's trying to figure out how to go from nothing to everything, I think it's the greatest country in the world to do that. If you're willing to do what? Attitude and effort, earn, keep what you earn, multiply what you keep. Appreciate y'all, man, for rocking with me. I got to get on out of here. Like I said, man, get yourself down in that description box. Check out those links, that Moo link, up to $1,000 in NVIDIA stock if you open up a new Moo brokerage account. And you got to meet certain deposit requirements in order to get up to the $1,000. So if you're willing to do that, check them out, make your deposit, boom, that's what they're offering you. Second link is going to be Wealth Builders Financial Community on Patreon. That's my personal financial community on Patreon. Again, no experts there. I'm not an expert. I'm just a regular guy trying to provide information that people can use to try to better their life. They don't want to use it, they don't have to. But I know we got a couple thousand people in there, and we're just chugging right along. Best practices, what's working, what's not working, all that good stuff. If you want to check us out, click on the link. It'll take you over to Patreon and check us out. If you so inclined to, join us. We'd love to have you. And then the last one is the website, www.richardfain.net, third link. That's the website with the digital products. I got things like how to repair credit on your own, how to invest in real estate, little to no money down, and everything in between. Again, you're not required to do anything, guys. I'm here just to give you my opinion on what's going on right now and to provide information. If you like the information, great. If you don't, hey man, thank you for watching. I appreciate you. But one thing I can promise you, I'm gonna be on here every single day for the next 9 years. As long as the great folks at YouTube allow me to be, I'm gonna be on here every single day trying to help as many people as I can. Because I know for me, it's about people. If I can help enough people get what they want, I get what I want. Appreciate y'all. Stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing, share the video, smash that like button. Thoughts become things. If you can see it in your mind, get hold of it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace, love, and happiness.